Hey guys, so today is Wednesday, December 12th. I actually want to talk about my DMZ trip. I'm going to be looking at my cell phone a lot because I don't remember every detail. And I'm not sure if all my details are right because I'm doing it based off of memory when I was on the tour. But I'm going to do my best shot. I'll also post a more detailed blog post about it. Also my pictures as well as where you can go to register for a tour. So I want to start off by saying that there's multiple tours that you can do it through. The one I went through was through the U.S. Army, U.S. organization. And it's definitely more expensive because it's about, sorry, my cat wants to play with me. It's about $90 American, or sorry, $80 American, which is about 96,000 won. Most tours that you can go on are about half the price at $30 or $40 American. But the more expensive one that I went on brings you to two extra places that you wouldn't be able to go to with the cheaper tours. And like the DMZ is not a place that I'll visit like once a year. It's more like a place I'll probably visit once in my lifetime. So I thought it was probably better to just go out and spend the money on it. So pretty much it's a full day tour. It's pretty easy to book. You just Google USO DMZ tours full day. They also offer half day tours, but the full day tour is 2 more hours and you get to go to more places. So as a gain, I suggest that you should really do it. So pretty much we met at the U.S. Army base, Camp Kim, which was in Itaewon area. We met at like 8 o'clock and then, or 8 o'clock for an 8:30 or 9 o'clock departure. Pretty simple. You just bring your passport, they sign you in. Registration wasn't too hard. You first you did was you email them, you give them your name, your passport numbers, and nationalities of you and your friends, and then you do a bank transfer. So you do have to have internet banking set up. So the first thing we did was an hour drive to DMZ area. And the first thing we saw that kind of symbolized the DMZ was the the reunification bridge. I totally said it wrong. Reunification bridge. I don't know how. I'm an English teacher, but pretty much is a bridge that connects South Korea to the DMZ, and it's kind of a symbol of how one day the two Koreas will be unified. As well, there's a funny story about how I think the owner of the owner of Hyundai, he actually came across this bridge of one cow. He came to South Korea and he made lots of money, obviously, as the owner of Hyundai. So he actually brought back 1,001 cows to North Korea through this bridge. And the second place we went to was called the third tunnel. So pretty much, so far, there are 4 tunnels discovered by South Korea where North Koreans use to kind of like sneak into South Korea. The third tunnel is the biggest one. The 4 that are found are like different kilometers in length, but the third tunnel is the biggest one, the longest one, as well as it can easily move 30,000 troops, North Korean troops, into Seoul in under an hour. So it's pretty scary how fast they can move under this tunnel. And then by other people who have escaped North Koreans, or I guess spies, they believe that there's about 20 more tunnels to be found. So it's kind of scary, but kind of cool that these exist. So we went in. You wear like a hard hat just because the tunnel is super low, and as you're walking you see like these yellow marks where dynamite was placed when they were creating the tunnel, and also coal marks on the walls because North Koreans tried to disguise these tunnels as places where they were mined for coal. But after South Koreans found that this area or this environment could never be host to coal, so all of this it was used as a cover-up. They're actually trying to sneak into South Korea. It's about a 10-minute walk underground. It's like a slant, and you go into caves, and I'm 5'2", and even I have to duck at some parts. So it's a pretty low cave. So if you're a bit taller than me, which is like probably normal height, or if you're like absurdly tall, your back will probably hurt. At the very end, we get to see through this like little hole in the cave, and you get to see into North Korea, our first sight. So it's kind of exciting, pretty cool. And like I read a lot about North Korea last year because I had like a phase going through it, and for me it's just really surreal to actually see it in person. So after that, we kind of took a few photos. We saw a short film on the hoping to reunite the two Koreas. It was obviously made by South Koreans, but they really emphasized on how they really hope to be one Korea one day. And after that, we went to Dorasan Station, which is the first station, the last train from the south, but the first train to the north. So again, it symbolizes the importance that they hope to one day reunite as one Korea. And it's pretty cool because the train station actually leads to Pyongyang. And this train station obviously doesn't operate anymore, but I think twice a year they were saying how it does bring supplies into North Korea. and it used to be used when they had like factories in North Korea as well. When you go here, you can get a stamp anywhere you want saying that you went to the station, but they suggest don't put it on your passport, because if you do get the stamp on your passport, you might not be able to visit Japan so easily because the Japanese don't really like it. And also, you can pay 500 won to get into the actual tracks of the train station. Not really good picture, but I'll post it. And 500 won is really just 50 cents, so you might as well once you're there. And there you get a cool sign where you see to your right, it's about 200 kilometers to Pyongyang in North Korea, and 56 kilometers to Seoul. So it kind of just reinstates that North and South Korea are both tiny countries. It's crazy how they have so much history, and how there's so much conflict for such a small area, and like so much can happen because it's such a short. They're so close to each other. So after that, we were supposed to go to the Dora Observatory, which is like a higher place up look into the mountains, but we weren't able to because of the snow in Korea. So if we were to go up to that observatory, we would see 14 kilometers into North Korea and actually get a glimpse of a statue of Kim Il-sung, which is the father of Kim Jong-il, who passed away last year. And Kim Il-sung is also the first leader of North Korea. It's really cool because we would have been able to see one of the statues, and apparently there's 30,000 of his statues all across North Korea, which is kind of like just shows the power of his dictatorship and his ruling. And then after that, we had lunch. We bought a packed lunch, but if you go on this tour of USO Army, you could get you can pay I think 8,000 won for bibimbap or like 10,000 won for bulgogi, which when I saw didn't look good, so I definitely suggest packing your own lunch. After that, we went to JSA, which is a joint security area. And this part, we left our tour bus and no longer had our tour guide, who was a Korean, but we actually had a U.S. Army soldier. So he actually brought us into this building where we were standing in this room, and then half of us were in the North Korea side and half of us on the South Korean side. And this is like the big tourist area where all the big meetings happen. We saw a North Korean soldier as well. It was really cool. And we were only instructed to take photos facing the north. We can't take photos facing the south. However, if you want to take photos facing the south, we were more than welcome to take a tour to North Korea and then see the JSA security area from the north side. So that was the only way you could take pictures of the south. We also got to see some Republic of Korea South Korean soldiers. It was really cool. They just stand there all day in the freezing cold outside to protect South Korea. And then after that, we drove to this lookout point to see more into North Korea. We actually got to see Propaganda Village, which is a North Korean village that's within the DMZ border. So the DMZ spans 4 kilometers, 2 kilometers north and 2 kilometers south. So Propaganda Village is the village in the north side of the DMZ, and then no one lives there. It's just a village to show that, hey, come here, like North Koreans have places to live too. And then on the south side of the DMZ border, there's also Freedom Village, which is a South Korean village, and people actually live there. And I think they're saying how these people don't get taxed and they get support. So actually after every income tax year, they actually make 100,000 American to bank. So it's pretty cool how they have these two villages and they're within sight of each other. And also the Propaganda Village in North Korea has like a really tall flag. I'll post the details. Pretty much North Korea had a flag and South Korea had a flag that was bigger. So North Korea retaliated by making an even bigger flag. So it was kind of funny. And after that, I went to a lookout point. Sorry, my cat just pooed and it stinks. So pretty much after that, I went to lookout point and we could see more into North Korea. And yeah, that was pretty much the tour. It was really cold. Got to see a lot of history and learn about like the axe murder incident and stuff like that. And then we also saw the Bridge of No Return, which was a bridge that was to exchange prisoner of wars, POWs, at the end of the Korean War. And then here people could decide to either stay in North Korea or come to South Korea. So it's kind of interesting to see, it'll be interesting to see what people's reactions were when they decide to go to North Korea, if they regret the decision or like what happened to them. So after I went to the museum, and if you go to the museum, I definitely suggest going upstairs to the second floor because there's a secret sticker photo booth there that gives you free sticker photos, and then you can use North Korea places as your background. So I thought it was really hilarious. So that's my update about DMZ. I definitely recommend going if you're in Korea. You might as well.